Test 1 2, test 1 2. Maybe that's what I was missing. If anyone's in the chat, it looks like no one. Here, let me just do a quick test. Sorry if you're watching this on replay. You can just fast forward through this. This should be pretty quick. I just want to make sure that my sound is coming through. Okay, that worked. All right, I was just watching my own channel. Okay, cool. All right, so welcome everybody. Jared Napolitano, JNAP here, marketing advocate for the PC. I'm also helping to run the 2022 Retro League. This is event 2. I have 3 game replay streams that I got from players for this event. So just be me. I just want to go through them. I heard that a few of them were pretty interesting. And then the third game is actually the top table for game 5 out of 6 between Ryan Jellison and Sebastian Grenda. So that's going to be a pretty highly competitive game. I don't know who won. If the way that I could just show here on my screen, this is the pairings. So we'll get to that one third. But basically, if I know Andy won table 2, I streamed that before. If Ryan won, it'll be Ryan versus Andy for 5-0-5-0. Winner wins the event in game 6. If Sebastian won, then it's going to be a little trickier in that they're not going to be able to play each other because they play the same side this game 5. So there'll be strength of schedule will dictate who won. But as I had in the header, I have a few games. The first one is going to be, it's actually between Ryan Jellison and DRTORCH, aka Paul Todd Feldman. This is game 3. Ryan was dark side. Ryan sent me the replay. Both players were 2-0 at this point. So yeah, he said it was. He said he made a few mistakes as we always do, but he said it was a pretty interesting game. So I'll go through these. I think with replays generally they go a little quicker because you don't have all the players thinking or debating what they're going to do. But I can always pause it at certain times. So right off the bat, we have Ryan picking his starting location. Looks like he's got 2 Kashyyyks, 2 Kessels, 2 Tatooines. Like I've said in the other stream, there's just so many more locations in this format than nowadays in the open. Makes sense why. He's got 2 Wampa caves, so 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 locations isn't crazy, but we'll just jump in here. So this, of course, is on GEM. In case you're not aware, this is play.starwarsccg.org. Whoops, why isn't this playing? There we go. All right, and Paul starts Obi-Wan's hut. So this is this replay function on GEMP where you can see, it goes pretty quickly, just all the different moves that the players made. So right off the bat, Ryan's only got 1 character in his hand, only 1 location, so not a great start for him. I imagine he's just going to try to get his activation going, deploy locations, draw. And I imagine Paul's probably going to be getting Obi-Wan and his lightsaber, to the hut as soon as possible, maybe lightsaber proficiency. These early formats, it seems like it's just a lot of you play your mains, you play your Vaders, your Obi-Wans, your Senses, your Alters, your crazy interrupts like Nabrin Leeds and Ellis Hellrot, and you just you try to just gradually get drains through and win some battles. Of course, Monarchs and Grimtoshes are popular, and Grabbers with A New Hope coming out. Again, this is Premiere-Hoth, so it's kind of like a time warp to basically the very end of 1996 when Hoth came out in November 96. Simulates that meta. Also, if you're not aware, not every single card is coded on GEMP, so there are a few cards in these sets that aren't coded, but they're usually very, very rarely played cards, if ever, honestly, especially in competitive games. So usually we don't miss much, but there is always a couple cards that players ask for, and the only reason they're not coded yet is that they're very difficult to do so. So Paul gets traffic control out, draws. Ryan also drew on his turn 2, and I can speed up the replay too, especially maybe I will do that now early on. Ryan still only has 3 characters. He doesn't have any mains. He's got his Utakuta solo for Nabrin. Excuse me. And right off the bat, Obi-Wan comes out for only 2 force, and he plays Revolution on Ice Plains. Oh, interesting. Okay, so right off the bat, we have the Vader, which came out in A New Hope, cancels Revolution, not immune to Sense. Opponent loses 1 force for each. Obi-Wan's going to Sense. And I think what Ryan might do here, right, is he's probably going to grab with Tentacle and then alter it. And then that kind of wins out. Yeah, so we'll see. I'll put this. Obviously, most people will probably be watching this on YouTube afterwards on the PC channel. Just kind of did like, didn't plan this too much ahead. Just had some free time and had some replays. Sixers aren't playing tonight, so hope just rooting for the Celtics to lose. But yeah, I figured it'd be a good night to stream some Star Wars. And then again, I think a lot of people watch this on replay anyway. So thanks for tuning in, whether you're live or on replay. So Stalker comes out to Tatooine. Ryan puts Officer Effects on. This doesn't even draw Battle Destiny yet. Stalker's only got an ability, 1 permanent pilot. Obi-Wan has no saber, no lightsaber proficiency. So both players are still just kind of getting set up here. Ryan draws another tentacle, which is pretty good. A Vader, another Star Destroyer. So he's gonna have plenty of space stuff. It's just a matter of getting forced to activate. It doesn't look like Paul's really getting a lot of locations out either. He's only got one, literally one, and his 4th turn just wrapped up. I just want to discard Boring Conversation anyway. So this cancels in terms of relevant for this format. Gift to the Mentor, Don't Get Cocky, Skywalkers, Surprise Assault, Demotion. Those other cards aren't really played. And actually, I think Combined Attack is one of those. There's about 80 cards out of like probably 3,000 something unique cards that in the game. I think there's maybe 700-800 virtual cards, plus Decipher had around 3,000. We got a Revert here, Gift to the Mentor, pulls a lightsaber. Ryan, by the way, threw Victory Class Star Destroyer out there to reinforce at Tatooine. But what was I just saying as I sidetracked myself? Oh, the coded cards. Yeah, there's about 80. I think that's what I was saying. I don't know. Sorry, everyone. Oh, it'll come back to me. All right, so the Drain of 1, Luke Skywalker goes to the Drain, and then we have a Grimtosh Lost from Paul, and he's going to get nothing, right? So that's a whiff, but now he has at least the information. He's going to Drain for 1. And he loses his Tentacle. Tentacle's not unique, so... But that's the main card I think you want to grab, right, is Sense, because then they can't just keep escalating a Sense Alter war. Echo Command Center, so Paul gets a little more activation along with the Massage. So 2 War Rooms get dropped, so he picked up 4 force, so that's good for him. Boshek gets tossed from hand, both players with 11 cards in hand. Garindan's going to invade the War Room, accompanied by the baddest dude in the galaxy, Darth Vader, who then gets his lightsaber. Whoops. So this is looking good right now for Ryan, as he's threatening a drain of 3 and 1. Paul's just starting a drain of 1 here. Both players with pretty healthy hands. I have you now off the top of the reserve deck for Ryan. And Paul's going to draw above. And he's holding this Monarch. He probably doesn't want to play it because he has no Sense Alter to back it up. It could be worse on the drain. Yeah, like that's something I would have liked a Tentacle, right? Just so it doesn't come back again. And who knows? All right, so DRTORCH loses his Sensor hand. Obviously means he's got more than one. Some wild stuff here. All right, so excuse me. Ryan puts out Kashyyyk for some more activation. Puts Mahdi to the War Room, but then he gets buried, which tells me he's just trying to cycle a card. So now he's under the 13, so now he can't even play Monarch used even if he wanted to. So that was a weird thing that he threw away the Sense. Obviously he's got another Sense, but maybe he's respecting the fact that Ryan's got Vader out, so he might have some Senses and Alters of his own. Vader's Obsession gets lost from hand. Beggar comes out. All right, this is going to get juicy here. So he's going to use the Beggar. Out comes Luke. Going to use, and this card, and this is interesting because Beggar was banned for a long time because it would crash the Jemp server. And I think it was only when people use more than 1 force. So you're allowed to use the 1 force of the Beggar, and then it survives to your next turn. But if you use more, it goes lost at the end of your turn. So it's been banned in every format for a long time, up until like maybe a month or 2 ago. So this is interesting that I guess he got it to work. Although I think the server has crashed once or twice the last couple weeks. We saw that Nginx, Nginx error, which rarely see. All right, but we have Force of Strong as this one to add 2 Battle Destiny. That gets through. Vader will swing at Luke and hit with a total of 8, so he's forfeit 0. So it looks like Paul's going to try to clear out everybody. That's not going to help, but he has Han Solo to cancel and redraw the Destiny 1 of Obi-Wan, and he's going to draw 4 Utility Belt, which is what I've learned to protect from Circle's Now Complete. He draws a 2 Grimtosh and a 7. Wow, so he's not even going to get rid of... That did not go well for Paul, but he kind of had to take a risk, I guess, because he didn't want to just can't let this drain of 3 just keep compounding and keep letting Ryan reinforce it or find tricks like Barrier. We have a Monarch drawn for Destiny. He's got another Monarch in his hand. We'll see what happens here. Yeah, I think with the one of the downsides with the replays is sometimes when players revert, the replay like breaks and freezes. So knock on wood, hopefully we don't have that happen. Obi-Wan moves over to Mos Eisley to threaten another point of damage, and Beggar's going to go lost here at the end of the turn because he used more than 1 force, as the card says. Alright, so during a 3 at the War Room. Once again, this is game 3 of this is from a couple weeks ago. Both players are 2-0 at this point. Paul, I think he had 3, maybe, I think he had 4 day 3 Worlds finishes. So he was an excellent player back in the day. Ryan is one of my teammates. He's also on design and development right now. Both players are in California. We had another Revolution come out. And Ryan actually just won the Jawa Cup too, in the Jawa format, which is basically open format with some of the strongest and most popular cards lopped off of it. All right, so we have a Monarch loss that gets sensed. So, and then with all these streams, I'm just always hoping that people find them interesting. We don't really have a ton of content in these retro formats, and I think they're becoming more popular, and I think it's a lot of new and returning players coming back to the game, coming into the game, coming back to the game. Really like seeing these types of things. They can see what decks people are playing, what are the common cards, and and everyone's got different 60 cards in their decks. But I know if you're trying to get better, trying to get more competitive, I think seeing what good the stronger, more experienced players play in their decks is the most helpful. So that's where we have a separate YouTube playlist for these streams, and hopefully we keep building on that. And if you have any feedback in the comments, feel free to chime in. If certain formats you like that you don't see, or if my commentary is awful, let me know what I could do to make it better. I'm always open for constructive criticism and feedback. All right, we have L's Hellrod here. He drew the 0, which is nice for Ryan. We got a Disarmed from Paul, which is very good. So now he doesn't have to deal with the lightsaber. But Tarkin's going to be coming down here. Ryan's got a ton of force to utilize this turn. So Blizzard 1's going to come down. Tarkin's on Blizzard 1. He could do... Wow, yeah. Oh boy, lots of power. So Paul's going to need a Hujix. This is just a lot of power. Yeah, wow. So he's looking at like 9 overflow at least. No, maybe more. Like 12. This is going to be bad for Paul. I mean, at the very least, he's going to have to use a Hujix. All these tricks haven't come out like Sorry About the Mess or Clash of Sabers or... some other things that might mitigate this. So I would think if Paul didn't have a Hujix, he might have. He's going to go so far behind in the damage race, I think. So at least he hit Vader, if he doesn't have a Hujix, that is. And Ryan drew 4 and 7 for Battle Destiny because or 5 and 7 because they're +1 each. Because the OG Vader 38-5 Obi-Wan goes, and that's going to be 22 more Hujix. Oh wow! What in the world? Time out. Let me pause. So he didn't see that. If I had to peel 24, I wouldn't even have peeled it. I would have just conceded. But the other, what was I just gonna say? Oh, he did concede. All right. So in doing these, we did game 5 primarily because these players can change their decks. Any or all cards game to game, but we figure when we do game 5s, they're high profile, but it's the last time the player's going to be playing light side or dark side, then they're for the event. And the event number 1 was Premiere to New Hope, event 2 was Premiere-Hoth, and then we kind of do like a time warp up to Premiere to Death Star 2. So I also asked players, and if anyone's in the league and watching this, if you guys are willing to share your deck list, again, I think that's something that would be a valuable resource to people getting back into the game or starting with the game and are interested in this format, so they can have some type of starting point for decks. All right, so Brian won. He moved to 3-0 with a huge beat down there. I guess Paul just didn't have tricks, so it looks like both players kind of struggled for activation, but especially Paul. That's how it went. So, all right, so that was the first game of R3. This is the second. This is a matchup between ideatrack, our friend Lyndon, the creator of all the Jedi Sealed format, which, if you are not familiar with that format, I highly, highly recommend. It's a lot of people really like it. A lot of really, really good players and a lot of really, really experienced players still like it. It's you get 2 packs of every Decipher expansion, and you build 40 card decks or 45. I always forget, but it's really cool. But he created it, and he's an old schooler. Came back to the game in the last year or two. So he sent me this. He's here in table 5 as I'm looking at the forum. He played Matthew Tennyson, so tennymf. So Lyndon's light. He said this was a good game. He's only got 6 locations. Interesting. So both players, no surprises here for the format. Death Star, Obi-Wan's Hut. We did see when we did game 5, table 2, we saw the Ice Plains and the Echo Command Center, which is interesting that both players went with quote-unquote new cards to that event, but new Hoth cards. But of course, both of these locations were available in Premiere to New Hope. All right, so activation, the usual drill early in the game. Ideatrack's got some pretty shiny foils, including Luke and Anakin's lightsaber proficiency and Obi-Wan's Hut. And right off the bat, wow, lost Monarch. So tennymf on his first turn uses all of his force and burns 4 cards from Lyndon. So, live by the doubles, live by the duplicates or multiples, die by the multiples. So right there, not quite backbreaking, like losing like 2 Obis or 2 Lukes, but 2 altars is pretty big. And out of commission's a rare cyclable 5 in this format. And can also get rid of like a Vader or a Tarkin early on if the place out of play, so you don't have to worry about it the rest of the game. So I was curious if people would use Commander Luke or use Hoth locations, but it looks like Lyndon at least has 1 copy here of Luke, and he's going to just drop Luke and Anakin's lightsaber and lightsaber efficiency, and he's threatening a drain of 4 right here on his turn 2. He's got another Luke in hand now that he just drew. He's got a couple trick. Neighboring's going to be tough to pull off unless he blind draws a 0. And Luke is only immune less than 3. So this is going to be interesting because that's a lot of card investment. Unfortunately, like 3 cards down that only have immunity less than 3. But back in this format in the old days, people didn't draw as high destiny as they do now. There's definitely been a destiny creep over time. Get this light that's always causing glare here. Sorry, everyone. Just hopefully it's not too bad. All right, so Luke swings at Officer Efax. He's going to hit him easily, drawing a total of 9. We're drawing our friend R2 and a second copy. Sorry about the mess. And let's see if tennymf can draw our Matthew. He draws a 4, so Luke's going to die here. And then both players are going to be getting pretty low hand size, pretty low activation. I think Lyndon did tell me that when he provided this replay. Oh, that hurts. Yeah, maybe not, because now he can kind of counterbeat a little bit. He could just throw down Luke in battle, but he's not going to... It's very unlikely he's going to overflow. Maybe a couple, but not many. All right, so Lyndon has to lose all 3 cards to his loss pile. Even better, he's going to threaten to drain a 3 at the hut. Yeah, that's even better than the 2 or the 1 at Mos Eisley. That's the Dark Mos Eisley. It wouldn't surprise me if there's a lot of decks that play 2 of that, just because the Cantina Shuffle's a pretty powerful mechanic, I would think. All right, and then we're going to battle here. He's going to, if he draws a 1, he really needs to draw 1. He draws, or at least a 1, I should say. So he draws a 4, so DS612 is going to go to the loss pile. And they're both going to be kind of in this holding pattern of activate, draw, try and find activation. And we could speed this up a little bit because I have a feeling we're going to be a couple turns here before stuff starts getting established. Third marker. Oh, we did have 1 battle damage. Yeah, so 7. Really? Why? Oh yeah, 7 to 2, and DS612 covers 4. Math is hard. All right, so Tenny's going to draw up again. This is table 5, as I had over here, of game 5 of the 6-game event. They're just about to wrap up this game and then go into the final round or final game, final week, whatever you want to say, for this event number 2. And like I said, we'll talk about a little bit more about who will show down, whether it'll be 2 games of consequence or 1 going into game 6. All right, so tennymf gets Vader out. Yeah, wow. Both players replenish their hands. Activation's still super low. We got Scanning Crew. We're going to have a Sense. We have a Tentacle, and then probably an Altar. Yep. Oh, so this is a move. Yeah, I feel like I should have like put 2 and 2 together. This is like the common play here, where you Tentacle the Sense and then Alter it, and then you're safe. Because then you don't have to worry about more, more senses and just like really getting into some crazy stack or ladder or whatever phrase you want to use of losing a bunch of valuable life force. So, I paused this here. Sorry. I like double clicked it. Here we go. All right. So Wedge Antilles gets Scanning Crude to the use pile, and I got a couple cards drawn. So Tan of 4, really good card. Going to threaten a drain of 3 at the Death Star, and that's ideatrack knows that it's going to be hard for Tenny to piece together enough space to challenge that. I'm sure next turn ideatrack's probably going to try to get the Corvette there to reinforce. tennymf drew up a ton. He's up to 14. He's losing a couple from hand. 2 copies of Vader, DS613. Imagine he's probably digging for a ship or something to deal with that drain of 3, because that's something he cannot, allow just to keep going through. Trading damage of 3 to 1. And then ideatrack draws a nice hand here. He's got Obi-Wan, he's got Gifted Mentor, he's got Grimtosh, he's got R2, Utility Belt, he's got a Barrier. He's got a pretty healthy hand here in terms of contesting Vader. Or he probably doesn't even have to contest Vader. Interesting. All right, he plays Gifted Mentor to look for Obi-Wan Saber. It gets sensed. I'm surprised he did that. With like, oh wow, here comes. Yeah, he should have done that first, right? Should have done Grimtosh first to try to. Oh well, never mind. Oh, maybe it was just a bluff. Okay. Oh, nice play, Lyndon. So Lyndon played the Gift of the Mentor to try to get a lightsaber, which if you're Matthew, you're thinking. At least I would be thinking he's only activating 4. Even if he gets a lightsaber, even if he has Obi-Wan in his hand, he literally doesn't have enough force to throw him down this turn and try to fight me. So, maybe in a turn or 2. But at that point, if you're Matthew, you're probably thinking, hey, I could hopefully find some pieces, save up some activation so I can deploy if he has some characters in his hand. But that was a bluff, basically. And then he was able to get the Grimtosh through, and that presumably would set Matthew back, losing some key cards that he might have been digging for a while. So Obi-Wan goes out there. He's just reinforcing his ground here. Utility Belt, so he cannot get Circles Now Complete. At least that's what I've been told. I'm not playing in this event. I might play. I really think I am going to play in the Premiere Death Star too. That's event 3 out of 5 for the league. That should be fun. That'll start right around June 1st. So there's a couple weeks for registration. If you're interested, just go to the forum, or I'll try to remember to paste the link where you can sign up. At the very least, if you're interested and you can't find it, just send an email to marketing@starwarsccg.org, and I will help you find the right place. So you have Grappling Hook, Obi Saber, there it is, KFC. He's got, again, Barrier, Disarmed. He's got plenty of stuff here. Echo Command Center off the top. Here comes Vader. All right, so now he's starting to drain 3, and that's probably going to prompt, and Tarkin too. All right, so Matthew had some of the key cards there, keeping Presence and Vader's Lightsaber and Grim Tarkin through the use Monarch. And then ideatrack's going to try to keep pumping through those drains. They're pretty close on life force. Looks like light is ahead a little bit. KFC goes there. Yeah, the Corvette, so he's just reinforcing here. That drain to 3, figures trade it, and then basically it's 4 to 3 right now in the damage race. and light side's up a little bit in life force, I believe, too. Oh, no, actually, it's okay. I was going to say it's down a little bit after that round of damage, and now that U3PO comes out. But he does have Serve at the Mess. He's probably going to need a Sense to back up a Sense, probably. Or no, he doesn't even need it because Tentacles grab, so he could sense it. It's unique. We get a neighbor, and oh boy, here we go. All right, we're going to get a battle here. There's only one force to pay. He's probably going to disarm Vader, is what I'm betting. Uta Gutta Solo makes neighboring leads lost. All captures are captured, and he's going to seize them. Whoa, that's huge. All right, and you don't, and nowadays you never see this card. I mean, now they changed it to be a virtual card, so it just cancels neighbor and immune to sense. It doesn't cost anything. But it's also interesting that quite a mercenary, the light side canceller of Ellis Hellrot makes them all lost, whereas this makes them captured, and you could seize or let them escape. If you let them escape, they go to the use pile, which sometimes is better because if you, rather than seizing them at a site that you might be vulnerable of, then light side attacking, and then if they make the characters go lost, the characters get released to the site. But I think in this format, it's a lot hard, especially with the activation being really low in this game. It's very implausible, especially with Obi and Luke captured, that light side's going to be able to put up enough of a fight to eliminate Vader, Tarkin. And he's got lightsaber, he's got Tarkin there to cancel the Destiny. It's going to be really hard to free them. So that makes sense for him to capture them at the site and not let them do anything. We got a Monarch here that is going to be played used. And that's going to set Lyndon back here. So I don't know who won this game, but right now it sure looks like Matthew's in good shape. He's at 26. Especially now, because I wouldn't even move Tarkin. He knows what's in, he doesn't know exactly, because he did used. But even now this is now a drain of 4 instead of the drain of 3 here. Am I doing that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Tentacle, Grindin, Sniper, all off the top for Darkside. And he's going to move U3PO on Ideatrack's turn. Another disarmed. He's got 2 disarmed in his hand. Han, Wedge, Leia. Nice foily cards. Foily jump cards. Force drain of 4 there for Tenny. And now he's going to get a space presence set up here. 2 Victory Class Star Destroyers. They're deploy 1 at Kessel. Ooh, and now Mahdi's only, he's deploy -2 if there's 2 Imperial Starships on table. So Kessel makes them deploy -1. Starships deploy -1. You flip it by Control Shift. Ellis Hellrot off the top. Uta Gutta Solo off the top. Scanning Crew off the top. Double Agent to get rid of U3PO. We have a Sense from Darkside that's going to get through. Real quick, as I got to do this, in case you're not aware, the PC is celebrating its 20th anniversary. We have these card backs for GEMP. We're going to do them for about a month. They were just debuted during the PC 20 event, which was celebrated on April 30th to commemorate the 20-year anniversary of the chartering of the Players Committee, which has been stewarding the game now for a long time. And these are the we made sleeves for these for the donations program, so these are really cool. They came out really nice, and our graphics lead Christian Knutson, sorry if I'm saying that wrong, Christian, created the art for those with the help of Chris Menzel. All right, so Double Agent, what just happened here? Did he sense it? All right, so Double Agent sensed the Double Agent. Oh, then he played another one. Okay, because it's not unique, and then that one got through. Okay, all right, good play by Lyndon. This looks like a drain of 3 and 2 versus 4 and 1. So they're both dealing the same. This is crafty here. So now Lyndon's got undercover. As we know, Leia is a spy. He could, and we saw a sniper go off the top. I wonder, maybe Tenny has got another U3PO and a Nevar Yalnal to try to make it go lost. We'll see what happens here. We got undercover spies, who Haze Hunter's favorite, longtime player. Definitely someone who's not a fan of the whole undercover spy mechanic, and it can definitely be very frustrating. All right, so start with the mess. Went from hand, proficiency from hand, disarmed. Got the drain went through. and then Tenny moves everybody over to the Mos Eisley to block that. I was him. I may have taken a risk here. I would have maybe left somebody there. No, don't do that. Just to keep that drain threatened. So, alright, so out comes Han to the hut. So, yeah, undercover goes on Leia. He's probably just going to run away with Wedge. And now he's up in the damage race 3-1. Yeah, we'll see how long Leia stays on the table. Yeah, that would be, E-Scrapper, that would be the reason I would think it's pretty interesting, because you would think that would be a death knell, losing your two best characters. Obi-Wan Saber tossed from hand. Dr. E comes out. Funny thing, I was just watching a game between Joker King and actually it was ideatrack in the Decipher cards only. So that's basically like the 2001 meta, or actually early 2002 meta. And Dr. Vossen was at the Galactic Senate, and it was really funny. And I think he said, I don't know if he said he deployed him by accident or he left him there by accident, but this made me think of the concept of like Senator Dr. Vossen. All right, so Scanning Crew gets played. And let me just do real quick a sticker book token. So some of you might be familiar with the sticker book program. It's a prize support program. I'll put the link in the chat. If you're watching this on replay, that's fine. Send an email. The token will be a double agent. So double agent, I'll type in the chat, token. So you basically send an email to holotheater@starwarsccg.org. You include in the body of the email double agent. You just say, hey, I was watching JNAP's retro streaming on May 9th, and you are going to then receive these cool packs, which I don't have any in arm's reach, but they have foils and little, playable foil V-slips of virtual cards, which some people might not be interested in, but also these little mini stickers of virtual cards that you can do like a sticker book and paste them in. It's pretty cool. I'm going to do it with my 4-year-old daughter since she likes sticker books. But it's like a collecting thing. The PC's done, and the brainchild of Kevin Yop, our prize support. Some call him a madman, but he does a lot of great prize support for the community. He plays in these retro events. He's in this one as well. So sorry for the interruption there, but that'll be the sticker book token that we do on all these streams. And the more submissions you get, the more packs you'll get. It's not going to be a 1-to-1 ratio, but the most active people are going to get the most. There's going to be ultimately close to, I think, 1,200 packs. So there's a lot of these things so people can very plausibly complete the book. But yeah, going backwards here, so Vossen, I don't think we missed anything. I think I paused it. He played a Scanning Crew at the end of his turn. He knows what he has. We have a couple cards tossed from hand by Tenny, Victory Class Star Destroyer Circle, Captain Piet, and looks like he's going to try to keep chasing him around on Tatooine. The Cantina. Okay, so now, and he converted Mos Eisley. I didn't notice that before. So that's big. He found Obi-Wan, who's useless basically, because he's never going to be able. I would just toss the Obi-Wan, right? Blizzard Duke's coming out. He's just going to battle. He's very outpowered. But Wedge, of course, has a huge forfeit. Let's see what he can do. He draws a decent amount, which is big, because now he just has to lose either of these guys. They're both forfeit 6 and 1 force. And then he can try to establish Mantelli and Savarip. But he also can use the Cantina to shuffle. Or he can even just hide in the Cantina, because Blizzard 2 can't get in there. So life force counts. Tenny is at 8, but about to eat 3 damage. They both have the same amount of cards in hand, so this is going to be a tight finish here. But it definitely looks like it's going to favor light side. We have a shiny Cantina. Savarip comes out. I'm guessing he's going to run away here. But that's going to be a drain of, 3? So 3 and 1, so he's eating 4. I guess at some point we're going to have a Scanning Crew and a Sense. And he's going to get the Sense through. It's not going to be successful, though. But he cycled a card. He's going to maybe try it again. Oh, you can't try it again because of that tentacle. So it's unique right now. Losing Grimtosh from hand. And then, he can just hold that Obi-Wan to toss to Savarip. So even though I said last turn he should probably lose it, that doesn't make sense. Oh, Dark Jedi Whoa! Dark Jedi lightsaber on Grand Moff Tarkin. I'm not sure how often that's happened, but deploy 4. May add 1 force drain. So that's a big force drain. And in the world where there's no, not that he'd be able to do it really now anyway. If I was gonna say resistance or ultimatum to cap the drain if he's on three battlegrounds, but yeah. So this is looking like this is a drain of 4 he's threatening. So, but Tenny's just got to cram through enough damage here. The way the math's gonna work, we're peeling cards. Altars, senses are flying off the top. Drain 2 at the cantina. So yeah. So, ooh, let's see. So he went to block the drain because he doesn't want to eat drain. He doesn't want to eat 5 drain, which would leave him with what, 1 card left. Yeah, so he has to block the drain here. Okay, that makes sense. And he's gonna hope to. Oh, he's got 2 Obi-Wans to toss. Wow. Looks like he's gonna pull this out. Right, because you can lose both of these. So he's only losing 1 to the force drain. We're gonna battle here. He's gonna be up to 14, so he's gonna owe 11. One of those Obi-Wans covers 9. And he's gonna toss the other one to cover the remaining 2. And interesting. Let's see. Oh, is he gonna come up short? Oh, I would pause it and do the math here, but let's just find out. All right, so during a 3, he's gonna draw. And he draws up. All right, so Lyndon, yeah, I don't know if he could have done anything. So, yeah, he needed like 1 more turn. Wow, 18 turns. Whew. There's no no games nowadays go 18 turns. They usually go like 7, 8. Again, and this isn't differential. This is strength of schedule. So it doesn't matter if you win by 30 or if you win by 1. It's basically the same result that goes into the standings for this event. But yeah, I don't think he just had too much to cover. I wonder. No, it wouldn't have made sense if he. Yeah, that wouldn't have done anything. I was gonna say if he peeled 2 and saved the other Obi-Wan to try to just make a stand, that I don't think that would have worked. So yeah, really, really, really tight game. He almost overcame losing Luke and Obi-Wan, or not losing, getting them seized by Nutuku to Solo. So that was. Let me go back here. That was again table 5 and our second of 3 games. Between Matthew and Lyndon, we're coming up on about 39 minutes. I always try to keep these things to an hour, or no more than an hour. All right, so we'll jump into our last game. So again, this is the top table. This is Sebastian Grenda versus Ryan Jellison. Sebastian's dark. I am pretty certain. I'm not sure if Sebastian's from Poland or Hungary. I think it's one or the other. I apologize, Sebastian, if it's neither. I think it's Poland, though. All right, so what happened to my stream here? Did I do that by accident? Hold that all the way over. Hopefully it wasn't like that for a while. All right, so we have. I'm not really worried. I had that off to the side, or hopefully not. This is about 39 minutes. All right, so again, this is a top table 4-0 versus 4-0. Ryan sent me the replay, so we'll see it from his perspective. He's got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 locations. It looks like none of them are duplicates this time, unlike his dark deck that had 3, 4. All right, so same starting locations as the last game that we reviewed of Death Star and Obi-Wan's hut. Ryan's just going to activate. He's going to draw a card, play Gift of the Mentor to grab a lightsaber. He's got 2 grappling hooks, Grimtosh, Corellian Slip. Not a card I see often, but I know Wedge pulls it at the Talon roll. Yeah, using her up 4. Not bad. Alright, so Death Star War Room comes out, so Sebastian's getting a jump on activation a little bit here. Ryan has no locations in his hand, which I'm sure he's probably not too thrilled about. So Obi-Wan comes out for 2. Obi-Wan Saber, so at least he can start getting some drains through of 1 while he tries to find some. Yeah, okay, that's good for him that he found the War Room. Speed this up in these early turns here, where it's probably just activate, draw for locations, the usual. And we got the drain here. Officer Evacs off the top. Like I said, if Ryan wins this, he will play Andy in a matchup of 5-0s. The winner will win the event. If Sebastian wins, he and Andy will both be 5-0, but both have to play as light side, and they could get matched up against several different potential 4-1s. All right, we have Grimtosh used on 20, lost on a 20 card hand. Wow. Okay, that's crazy. You played Grimtosh, lost on a 20 card hand, and didn't get a single duplicate. Ozzel, Piet, Black 3, Premiere-Hoth, Tarkin, Invader, Presence of Force. I Have You Now, Tyrant, Vader's Lightsaber, Avazin. Oof. Hoth Marker, Darth Vader. It's a pretty good hand. But he's activating 8. 3 more than Ryan. And drain 1. That's always the best. 20 card hand, and he loses off the top to loses off the reserve deck for a 4-string. Alright, so Presence of the Force comes out. Ryan does not alter it immediately. Which, if you're not going to alter it immediately, yeah, I would have altered that, right? Maybe, I mean, it's always easier to think of these things in hindsight or from a different perspective, or both even. Yeah, I probably would have altered. I mean, I take that back. He knows that Sebastian had a sense, so he doesn't even need a character to draw against there. So that's my bad. So, and he only had 1 alter, so yeah, he knew. Now he's getting it, and now he's got the grappling hook and the alter. So that was a good play. But he's already there, so all that's going to do is save him. It's going to be 1 less 4-strain, but a smarter play though, because it would have just been a waste of an alter in that case. He would have drew out a sense, but Presence of the Force would have remained. So, and he draws 2 more alters, another grappling hook. I guess he got 3 grappling hooks. Grab everything. All right, so drain a 3 here at the non-battleground. Concept of battlegrounds, of course, didn't really emerge until the special edition expansion. Excuse me, Ozzel, GS612, both go to the Ice Plains. I imagine they're both going to move in to the Echo Command Center. Sebastian's definitely taking the approach of, hey, I'm going to be on my opponent's non-battlegrounds and make him commit resources to locations that he's probably not going to be able to, or he's not going to be able to cause much damage unless he's got like a lightsaber, or be stuck unless he's got a neighbor leads, which of course he does have 1 in his hand. But Sebastian, at least he's forcing Ryan to make these decisions and spend these resources to try to deal with it. So he's not going to try to attack those 3 Imperial numpties with just Luke and Biggs. Instead, just loses a 4-strain. It's probably better for him, honestly, to just do the same thing. Deploy here, move out, try to start threatening drains there. He doesn't have any spies in his hand. Loses red 6 from hand. No space locations except for the Death Star. We have a Monarch loss. Oof, not good for Ryan. Loses 2 alters. Both players, looks like they're about even on life in hand here. Ryan's continuing to push through these drains of 1 at Obi-Wan's hut. Vader off the top. Mos Eisley moves, and he's got a lot of force finally to draw from. Well, I should say finally. Building his hand, probably just trying to find locations and characters to set up on. A disarm might be helpful if he could like neighbor it in there, because that drain of 3 is really going to start hurting. So he just tosses Hoth, tosses Run Luke Run, and he loses Red Leader off the top. Red Leader, Red 1. Captain Lennox coming in here. Another Presence of the Force. Doesn't alter it immediately. Again, probably figures Sebastian has a sense. Scanning Crew will get, was that Luke? Yeah, he picks Luke because it's your choice, right? It was Scanning Crew. Card that's shielded now because it's a very annoying card. And actually, not just shielded, but I think by Death Star 2, your insight serves you well. That effect that cancels 3,720 to 1 also cancels Scanning Crew, if I'm not mistaken. All right, so Leia and KFC and Biggs are all going to the War Room. Set up a drain of 2, so we got drains of 2 and 2 against drains of 3 and 1. Out of nowhere, cool card. Keep sure he must have like 8 alters in his deck. A lot of alters for Ryan. So we got Hell to Pay Grabber, which I haven't seen really, in my limited review of these. I haven't really seen it hit the table. I think it's probably been in a couple decks. All right, so we got a Sense Alter War, we got Hell to Pay, and ultimately Ryan does get rid of the Presence of the Force at the War Room. So now it's a damage race of 4 to 3. Still, oh yeah, because that Presence, he was trying to get that Presence out. All right, so 3 and 1, plenty of damage Ryan's got to deal with. Out comes Kashyyyk. Ryan has, Sebastian puts it out. Ryan's had a couple ships he's kind of tossed, but still has a decent. He's got Jack and Red 6 and Han and the Falcon, and he could put down all of them, right? Because it would be 6 and 4 is 10. He could. Oh no. Let's see. If opponent just initiated a battle, choose one tie Elm to be lost. So that could be pretty spicy. If Sebastian initiates battle against him, so Ryan might just put these both down and pass the turn. He's got his Talon Roll protection with Corellian Slip. Saitor Kafas, which is a virtualized card now, and it's it's a very popular card, even though it's this crazy Premier common. Deploying your non-warrior character to give that. I don't understand. Is that even allowed? I got a ruling question. Or deploying your warrior, carrot +2. So I guess, isn't that the whole same thing, similar thing that Utility Belt does? Makes you protects against circles, not complete. I should read circle. All right, so here comes Talon Roll. He's going to place. Oh no, Ryan's in trouble here. So Sebastian does have the sense for it. Draws a 1. It's canceled. And this is probably not going to end well for Ryan. Oh, he draws a 0. So let's see here. And Ryan draws a 4. Will he survive? Oh, wow. So it failed. Okay, so let's see. What's the math here? Yeah, dark adds power maneuver, and light adds power, and they compare their destiny, right? So yeah, wow. Oof. So yeah, the starting point was what, 7 versus 9? So his destiny was 4 greater, and he needed it to be no more than, what, 2 greater? I think I'm doing that right. So that's not good for Sebastian, because now there could be a counterbeat here. We got an El's Hellrot to transfer Vader and Avaz into Mos Eisley. If we have a disarmed and an operation, that would be bad. Oh boy, yeah, there's a disarmed. So wait a minute, what's going on here? Why didn't... Oh, this is all during Darkseid's turn. Okay. So that's bad. That's going to really set Ryan back in terms of board state. Losing that drain of 2. Now it's 2 versus 4 again. But Ryan's going to win space. So Hoth Survival Gear. What does this do? Put a rebel or warrior while on Hoth the character's power and 4+. Okay. Alright. Against those annoying mobile effects and effects that came out in the Hoth expansion. So Black 2 is going on there as fodder. And then Sebastian's going wide. Oh no, he's not going wide. He's just going to stack Obi-Wan's hut. Now, Ryan could transfer somebody, or maybe 2 of these characters. Maybe like Leia. Oh, no matter what he does, I think he's going to leave 1 location without Battle Destiny. But like Nabrin in here, hope it doesn't get sensed. And drain for 2 at the Wampa Cave? Is that a line? I don't think so. I don't know if that's... Sebastian's just starting to drain of 3 and 1 still. So, but Ryan's probably going to win space. We got Figure and Dan to try to get some force back. Again, this is game 3 of 3 that we're reviewing tonight. This is game 5 of the 6-game event. This is a top table. Both players are 4-0 in the event thus far. And this is the Premiere-Hoth event in the 2022 Retro League. There's about 39 players coming into this game, I think. Around 40 from the start. Only a couple drop. So I think it's been pretty good league, pretty good event so far. All right, so he only draws a 1, but he can redraw it with Han. He really wants to draw at least a 4, because Black 2, he draws a 5. Okay, so that's going to take out this tie forfeit fodder in the cargo hold. It's also going to get rid of Tyrant. And now this game texture starts with any Wookiee aboard or power. So oh boy. So now he's starting to drain a 3. Yeah, that's even spicier than here. And he can go back and forth in case Sebastian tries to set back up at Kashyyyk. So that's pretty good for Ryan. He's got his R3PO to preempt or deal with U3PO should he show up. Obi-Wan's lightsaber gets tossed from hand. This is really close still, so this will be an interesting finish. Another Saitor, Kafas, goes to lost spot. Oh, he loses R3PO from hand? Why did he do that? Did he already see a couple of U3POs go lost? That seems... I think I would want to hold on to that. Maybe he's planning to like draw into a double agent or something? Oh, excuse me. Alright, you're into it the War Room. He's going to use Figurin, I imagine. No Figurin. Needs a Destiny? YOLOing Luke. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Alright. Oh, boy. Alright, so this is it. So he's the phrase he's YOLOing. So Luke is just attacking Vader and Avazan. What happens if Vader just swings in it? He's just gambling that. So this is interesting. I'll have to ask Ryan about this. I guess maybe he just thought, hey, I had to take a gamble because the way everything was going, he needed to take a chance and just hope that this misses from Sebastian. He draws a 4, and it's very unlikely he's going to draw a 0. He draws a 3. So this is going to be a hit operate. That was a lot of... So then he had to use the 2 for the altar. He lost the Force is Strong with this one. So that did not go well. And he doesn't want to battle here. He's immune less than 5. There's no immunity, but I guess there's not a lot of upside. Because now he just strands us here, and now he's got this drain at 2. So that makes sense. Sorry about the mess from hand. We got a drain at 3 incoming. So Ryan's definitely down in life force. Sebastian's sitting at 19. Ryan's at 9, 8. And he's going to move the Death Star to Parsec 1, so he could eventually get the Victory Class Star Destroyer. Scanning Crew's going to get Luke. That's no bueno. But now, what if he's able to neighbor in just this whole crew here? And he probably can't. Vader and Vazan are so strong. But he's just getting trains of 4. Yeah, it's 4 to 4, so it's about even. So I guess maybe that's what he's going to have to do. He's going to take the gamble. It's only going to cost 1, which he knew it was there because of the Scanning Crew. So good tracking, good planning from Ryan there. Oh, Utakuta solo to make them all last or captured. So, and Ryan concedes. Wow. Okay, so Sebastian wins. Well played. Both players. Sebastian ekes it out. So Utakuta, we've seen that twice now. And yeah, so it'll be Sebastian and Andy will both be 5-0. Like I said, they can get matched up against probably several different potential 4-1s. It doesn't matter. You can have 6 4-1s, and in theory, you know what the standings is for those, based on their strength of schedule through the 5 games. But my understanding is the way the software works, it just matches. It'll just take, 5-0. It can't match up against the other 5-0 because they played the same side. They'll take the top 5-0 and it'll pick a random number generator between 1 and 6, and they'll play one of the 6 4-1s, and that'll be how it works out. So might not necessarily be the strongest 4-1, which could be good and bad. So a little luck of the draw there, and that might actually honestly determine it, because if both of these 5-0 players, Andy and Sebastian, go 6-0, then it's just going to be who has the best strength schedule, I would hope. Yeah, I shouldn't say hope. They don't have to, but I wonder if they're both 6-0, if they'd be willing to do let's do a showdown, and maybe whoever has a higher SOS, because someone's probably going. It's probably be very unlikely. I mean, if they're tied, they definitely should play it out. But if maybe they do a 1-game playoff, whoever has the higher SOS picks the side for that 1 game, and then they figure out who's going to ultimately finish 7-0. But yeah, all right. So that's our 3 retro games. Thanks everyone for watching this. Again, this was Jared Napolitano, JNap, doing some retro league streaming. We'll try to get these top tables for the last game of this event too, and we'll try to do like a live stream. I'll try to work with Craig, maybe someone else as well if Craig's busy, but that would be a lot of fun. to live commentate high stakes games. But it looks like we're going to have at least two, because we won't have a win and win the event, win the game, win the event situation. So we'll see. So the suspense will be there. But thanks everyone for tuning in. Take care.